So you have questions about the county tax sale overages list. That's great. I'm going to tell you all about them today. I'm going to show you a couple of lists, and we're going to talk about what's included in these lists, and most importantly, what you can do with them. Now, I'm guessing that you're already making some progress on thinking about an overages business, because otherwise you wouldn't be asking about an overages list. And let me tell you, this is the greatest entrepreneurial opportunity that I see in front of me right now. I think it's absolutely amazing. So let's get into how these lists work. Well, what the list is, and this is an example of an actual list that I just pulled today, and I'll have the editor put it up on the screen so you can take a closer look at it as I talk about it. You'll notice on this, in the second column, something called excess. And you can see the first number is $2,107.70, and the second one, check that out, $193,215.60. Actually, if you go down all of this entire 2 pages of this list, the total is $3,341,087.71. This is one list. Now, these lists come from counties, and they come from counties that hold a tax sale. And then when there's money that is left over after the tax sale, they put it on a list. So this is really just their accounting that they're giving. And a couple of questions that commonly come up. First of all is, do they really have this money? And yes, they really have this money. This is a public record document, and it just shows how much money they're holding at any given time. And, it's not unusual for you to have a couple $1 million sitting in those accounts. Not unusual at all. And this is, $3.4 million. That's a bigger list, but they're always there. And also on the list, you get a lot of great information. And we look at the list a little more closely. We have the name of the person who is owed the money, and that's going to be the former owner, the person that lost the property. Because the way that it works, when the property sells at tax sale, let's just say for round figures that they owed $20,000 in taxes. And let's say that their property sold at tax sale for $100,000. When the government collects $100,000 from the bidder at the tax sale, they take $20,000 and they pay it to the government to take care of the taxes. And of course, there are also costs of sale, and all those are very small potatoes, very minor. So they do that, and then the money that's over and above the money they needed to pay the taxes and the cost of sale, that money is available to be claimed by the former owner. The challenge is that most former owners have no idea this money is out there. These lists are not that easy to find. And if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, you'll never find them. And no one can put their name in and actually just get the list that way. You can't put your name in and then have Google search tell you, you're owed $50,000. They don't index the list that way. So it's really difficult for former owners to get the money. And the statistic is that 72% of the time, the money never gets claimed and it just stays with the government. In most cases, it permanently forfeits to the government after a time period, varies by state. In my mind, it's typically 3 years. It can be shorter, it can be longer, but 3 years is pretty typical. People don't, they don't get the money. So 72% of the time, they don't get the money and it just forfeits to the government, which is absolutely criminal and terrible. So what we do in this business is we get these lists, we get the contact information for the person. That's a process called skip tracing. And then we reach out to them. We send them mail, we pick up the phone and call them. We'll send them messages on Facebook or on LinkedIn, letting them know that there's some money that they're eligible to claim and asking if they'd like our help. And, these lists are rampant. They're everywhere. And they can be called, like this one is an excess funds list. Sometimes you'll hear them called overbid file. Sometimes you call it overbids. So, they go by a variety of names, but it always means the same thing. It's money that's left over after a tax sale. And this one, this is actually 38 pages long. And again, I'll the editor just pop up part of it. This is a different list, but it is the same thing. It's just a different county. And you'll notice that counties make their lists in a different way. Like this list, they put the tax deed number and then the parcel number and then the sale date. And then you can see the 2 columns, opening bid and winning bid. And the overage is just the difference between the winning bid versus the opening bid. Like for example, the first one, the winning bid was $60,100 and the opening bid was $7,600. So for round purposes, there's about $54,000 left over in overages money. And the second one, winning bid $220,000, opening bid $30,000. So for round figures, there's $190,000 that's available for the former owner to claim. And you could go through all 38 pages of this. There's tens of millions of dollars on this list. I didn't bother to add it up, but you can just take a look and you see the winning bids are, six-figure bids, and the opening bids are typically, a couple $1,000s to as high as $30,000 or $40,000. That's because houses go for a lot of money. And there are bargain hunters at tax sales that are still paying 70 to 80% of what the house is worth in whatever condition it's in. So that adds up to a lot of money sitting out there. And again, 72% of money never gets recovered by the former owner. It just forfeits to the government. So what we do in the business is we reach out to the people, let them know there's some money, and say, look, for a percentage, we'll go and get this money for you. And it's just a really terrific business. You can help people. You can make a lot of money for yourself. Also, I love it because it doesn't cost a lot to run the business. Basically, you just need a cell phone to call people, an internet connection to pull these lists, and you can go to town. And our internal database, which does not cover the whole country, but a good chunk of the country, our internal database right now has over $350 million sitting on Overage's list. So that's our database, and over 14,000 leads that we could call. And every day there are thousands of tax sales. So, we can't possibly keep up with it all. So there's room for you in this business. The business is also expanding because recently the Supreme Court case was decided called Tyler versus Hennepin County, where the U.S. Supreme Court said that states cannot sell your house at a tax sale and keep the extra money. They have to make it available for former owners to claim. So it's opening up new states, and we're starting to see a big expansion in the business. So it's a great time to get in. So if you're looking for a business that you can start for not a lot of money, that you can feel good in helping people, and that you can run at a very low expense, it's a perfect business. I really enjoy it. I think it's great helping people and making money. So if you'd like to learn more, I did a video that's entirely free. It's here on YouTube, called Introduction to the Overages Business. You should see a link over my left shoulder, or certainly you'll see a link down below. The one over my shoulder just depends on your browser whether it supports that or not. But click on that link. It's a short video, 15 or 20 minutes, and I run over the basics of this business. And then if you want to get started in it, I do education and help people learn the business and be successful. I've been an attorney for over 30 years, and it's great to be able to teach a business where people can help other people, make a lot of money for themselves and their family, and really make a difference, because the people that we help are down and out. They've lost their house at tax sale and they need some help. They need someone who's reach down and pick them up, and you can be that person. So this is Bob Diamond. Hope this was helpful and useful to you. So one other thing. So when you're looking at these lists where, for example, it just has the parcel number but not the address, you can look up the parcel number by just going into the tax assessor's website, putting in the parcel number, and that will get you the address of the property. And then if you want to get the former owner's name, just look at an old tax bill that was before the tax sale. So they have the tax sale date on this list. So just look at the date and look at the tax sale for look at the tax bill for the prior year, and that will give you the owner name, and that gives you the information to get started. So it's Attorney Bob Diamond. If you like this, subscribe, and I'll teach more about overages and tax sales. And if you really want to dive into this, go see the introduction to the wonderful Overages Business video. And then maybe this will be you getting these lists, contacting the people, helping them out, and making a great living for yourself and your family. It's Attorney Bob Diamond, over and out for now.